Just when I thought the Defiant ones couldn't get any better, it actually did. Defiant ones part three is really good, and this is the second half of the Defiant ones part three. First, it talks about how Nicole Young and Dr. Dre, how they met, how her family was resistant, in which they had every right to be because of the notoriety that he had with the whole D Barn situation. And, they pretty much was showing. I can't remember seeing that scene in Straight Outta Compton where he was on a high speed chase and he um, resultantly got put 5 months in prison. And he was saying that Nicole was visiting him and she didn't have to do that. I don't really know Dr. Dre's and Nicole's relationship, but I have to honestly say, when Dr. Dre speaks of her, he really speaks like he's in love with her and she's in love with him, and their kids are beautiful. But there are certain things I heard about Nicole that I'm just not really too keen of. But I would say this, that Dr. Dre doesn't seem like he's the maniac that he was in the 90s. He's not a sloppy drunk. I haven't heard of anything of him getting into any trouble. So she keeps him in check or keeps him sane. So that's a good thing. So, moving right along, like I said, I understand why they have Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre in the same documentary because it's similar stories. The East Coast versus the West Coast, that was detrimental. And everyone understood why Dr. Dre left because it was becoming too street. It was too much drama. It wasn't about the music. You had these dudes up here acting ignorant, and it's like, Jimmy said something that, really stayed with me. It's that, yes, like, you're a gangster, but you gonna still be a gangster? You still wanna go around doing gangster shit? When you're legitimate, like, you're bringing in 10 or $12 million, like, why are you acting this way? And it comes to a point now, it's like, okay, you have to grow up and pick and choose your battles. For what I understood was that Snoop really clarified something for me because I did see the YouTube clip. Like I said, I didn't grow up in this era. My uncle did. I saw the YouTube clip where Snoop was saying, "Oh, the East Coast don't like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg." Now, when you just watch that minute YouTube clip, it's like, okay, it's like Snoop is egging on the beef. But when he explains in the documentary was that he wasn't trying to egg on the beef. He pretty much was like, "Wow, Suge, like you really said that." And people want to call Diddy a pussy for not sticking up for himself. To me, there are like you have to pick or choose your battles, and Diddy did the right thing. That just was not a good call on Suge. That was not good at all. So, and then Jimmy, like the parallel, because it was like a mirroring of, there was beef going on with the East Coast versus the West, and there was beef going on with Interscope and Time Warner. So it was showing, like, okay, Dr. Dre was going through this crap, and Jimmy was going through this crap. And that how Time Warner did not want to support Interscope Records anymore, and pretty much was that Interscope Records got bought over again by a record executive. I forgot his name, and they produced these hit albums. No Doubt. They produced Tupac, but then Tupac had issues of Interscope, and what happened was that when Tupac went to jail, Interscope and not Interscope, excuse me, Time Warner did not want to bail out Tupac. So they was like, okay, he can get on death row. And when you watch the movie All Eyes on Me, it made it seem like Suge had that amount of money to bail out Pac on his own, when it wasn't. It was once again all business. Was that the guy even said it, that he helped bail Tupac out of jail. Interscope and their shares helped bail out Tupac out of jail. Like, they didn't even want Pac locked up. They knew that he was this talented guy and he had a message, so they really wanted him out. They wanted him to make these records. So, Pac should come to the jail, bails out Pac, and Pac, he's out of jail now, and he's recording his All Eyes on Me studio album with Dr. Dre. And like I said, I believe after Shot got shot and messed up with his psych, he was going crazy. Like, he was on a rampage with all of that. It was like he really took that stuff personal, and he really like lost his freaking mind. Like, Hit Me Up is one of my favorite songs by him, but he went in. Like, he completely lost his mind when he made that record. It got crazy. And of course, it didn't help that Biggie had the record, Who Shot Ya. And everything just went so crazy. It was too much drama. It was, and when they showed the Source Awards, it was definitely not about the music. It was about who had the bigger balls and who can bust someone's chops the hardest. That's what it was. And a thing is that when Pac was in jail, the guy was interviewing him and he asked him about about being a thug, and he said, Tupac said that it's not about an image, it's a way of life, it's a mentality, and that's very much true. And that's why, we like Pac, because like Jimmy Iovine said, that Pac was this, amazing poet, and he was very emotional. He was like two people trapped in a body. So, the ending of the Defiant Ones was obviously, part 3 was obviously very sad. That's when Pac got shot. And still, the murder scene is not resolved. There's a lot of controversy of what happened with that. But one thing we could say, Pac left a legacy. Rest in peace, my brother. And, it's the same thing Iovine said too. Jimmy said was that everyone wished they could have prevented that. Like Snoop said, him and Pac were not meeting eye to eye, not because he didn't like Pac. It was that Pac was dissing Dre, and Dre and Snoop, they're cool. They're like best friends with each other. So, rest in peace, Pac. I'm gonna watch Defiant Ones Part 4. That is the last part. I'll give my review on that as well. Peace out.